Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and I now need to say thank you for 3,000 subscribers, because in the two videos that I've just made in the past where I had 3,000, I forgot to say that. Yeah, so anyways, thank you, because, it's a milestone, it's nothing to lose your sanity over, but I mean, hey, you guys support me in my hobby, so I appreciate that, really do appreciate that. So it's worth saying thank you when we meet little milestones like this. So, thank you. Also, intro change will be happening soon for the months of, say, June and July I can probably do. So, follow me on Instagram at Kotabeaner7703 if you have Instagram. Let's hope so. You can also see my railroad photography that I do there. And on my story, sometime within the next few days or so, I'll probably have intro options on there for you to vote on. And majority rules, I'll put it as my intro for the next couple months. So that's it. That's all. Let's get to these behind the scenes videos. Doing a little checkup on the Florida Railroad Museum, because they've been closed for at least a couple months now because of the coronavirus. And they've been doing a lot of stuff since then. They've had a lot of time to do stuff, work on equipment, get stuff ready for the roll once they get back up and running. Oh, they moved up. Dude, that's crazy to see this track. This track right here, they've had like passenger cars and stuff on this one that they never moved, and now they're moved, and you can actually see the track. There's maintenance equipment on it. They repainted the Plymouth switcher. Looks like they're swapping out wheels. Oh, you're rebuilding the whole truck?
Yeah,
gotcha.
See, we've got inserts, the shims for the pedestal jaws. This is the pedestal. This is the pedestal shim. Pedestal jaw is all that holds that wheel in place. So when it's up in the air, you take the keys out, which is under here, and you can drop the whole wheel. This came out of Tampa Union Station years ago. This is going to be our diner.
Oh.
Yeah, we're building it as a dining car, but we won't.
So right over here, we got the engine I've been waiting to see on the road. The CF7, number 204.
We haven't even seen what we've been doing in the cab.
Check out the cab here. See what we got inside. Oh, look at that. It was way better than when I was in here last.
Yeah. LED engine indicator lights. I went in. They have little, just like an audio system in a car. These are little amplifying adapters. And this is so that it can take the LED at the voltage that's needed.
Dang.
It still has the barrel control stand. This actually, what's kind of cool about this, we have it apart, is not only is this the speedometer, here's the speedometer face and the cap. This here is an early model of a speed recorder. You'd have a speed recorder tape that would go over it. Here's your odometer for your trip, and as the speedometer would increase in speed, it lifts this needle, which would take ink, and it would actually spool this tape through. So you could actually pull back and say the engineer at this milepost was doing this mile, this many miles an hour. This thing rides real smooth. I like this engine a lot. Yeah,
Well, y'all have certainly done a great job on it.
Yeah, this looks really nice. From what I can tell, you guys got it somewhere and rebuilt it or something?
we got it from scrap.
Scrap.
Yeah, we got it from scrap. It was a Kinder Morgan engine, and they were gonna scrap it. This engine here is wearing its first IMC paint scheme, which would have been the paint scheme it would have wore when it arrived in Florida. Of course, because it's a CF7, it was obviously a Santa Fe baby. Because it was a Santa Fe baby, it was an F7 first, and it wore Santa Fe livery basically up until the repaint. I believe that this model didn't have, I don't think it had war bonnet paint. I think it had the freight.
The blue bonnet?
I think it had the blue bonnet paint scheme that it had. The cool thing about this engine in particular is the cab itself for a CF7, because as a CF7,
It's rounded.
It's rounded. This is the last CF7 built with its original F7 cab. After that, after the very next one, it got the funky box style cab. The very first ones,
like
built.
the FCN ones.
Yeah, like Florida Central's.
Well, the one they have left.
The one they have left is the way it would have been built after this one.
Doesn't this one have an elongated cab too?
Yeah, the cab is the original length. As you can see here, it's got the collision posts that go around. Here they cut this one a little bit for the door, but the cabinet extended in here, and then you would have walked down the steps to get into the prime mover bay through here, and this would have all been inside the cab as was original.
You'd be surprised by what people with a burning passion for something can do. This engine looks ready to roll, and it is. It's ready to roll now, but say a year and a half ago, this engine, you can tell where they got this engine from. You know, he said, Grayson let us know that, you know, they got it from scrap. And, you know, you see pictures that I took of this engine when they had gotten it, say, September 2018. So what, like a year and a half ago now, this engine looked, you know, you could tell that this engine was set for scrap. And especially after the fact that the museum's original plan was to have this as a showpiece and not an operational piece of equipment, was that it sat on display for another 2 years without any maintenance attention. So they put the money and the effort into it, and you can see where they got with it. So now she rides smoothly. She's ready to run. So once the museum opens, they'll probably have this engine online fairly soon. If not soon, the Christmas train 2020 definitely. So maybe make a note to come out here and catch that train or ride it. Give the museum some love. Give them some ticket funds, because it's those ticket sales that allow them to complete projects like this. And as for me on my channel, you can tune in here and there when I decide to come out to the museum and see what those ticket funds have allowed them to do, such as this. So here is what they've got on the main line in Willow at the moment. Next, we have a car that they've just finished not long ago, and I'm really proud of. This is the 6324. This is a Ringling Brothers elephant car that they converted to an open air coach. It's got 6 axles, they got new paint on it, and they've got lettering on it. So they've got the Florida Railroad 6324 and Museum. And that's with brand new paint, brand new lettering, and this car will be rolling. If not on the first set of trains they run after the virus, their upcoming events in the fall. Alright, so this is our last little piece of video here. We're down here at Dickey Road. Since the trains haven't been running, they've had a lot of time to do maintenance on the track. That includes cutting down tree limbs, you know, all sorts of stuff. They have even, as you can see here, it's kind of rough because they've just been doing maintenance and no trains have been running. But like right here, but the ballast that was all right here is actually spread out now. So, because for the longest time it was just, you know, this solid stone just all the way down, and they never actually spread it. But I don't know why there's confetti here, but there's they finally got it spread out, and the line is starting to look really, really good. And they've also began to cut out some of the brush here in the ditch down there too. So they're probably going to end up eventually cutting all of that out, which will make for amazing shots here again. I will now proceed to override my own talking with more talking. So this was our outing to check up on the museum on May 16th, 2020. But after stumbling upon an event happening out here on June the 2nd, we get to catch some more behind the scenes work at the museum. Hey everyone, this is Florida Railroad Museum Update continued. This is June 2nd, 2020. They are currently underway with a ballast project, but I'm not exactly sure where the train's at the current moment, but they've been spreading ballast with the train. You can see some of it down there actually. They've cleared out the ditch a little bit. It said progress being done there. And looks like we found the train. Oh, hello there! They're coming back up, so we'll go get the other cameras and we'll set up. For the project at hand, these guys were using a very unique technique for completion. A small Home Depot trailer chained to an ex-Ringling Brothers circus flat car, which they load the ballast with and take it down to wherever they're spreading it and manually dump it out as the train moves southward. We'll be able to catch all of that here today. From what I know, this is brand new ballast, and with the extreme heat out today and the fact that it hadn't rained in a couple days, this is the dustiest job anywhere. With the trailer fully loaded, I would hop in the cab of the 44-tonner number 100 with my bud Mike at the controls, and we'd head north to the job site.
Start that tank good.
It would be on this trip out that we'd get a very special treat. Not only would we get to watch the ballast spreading from the ground, we would also get to ride along as Grayson regulated the ballast with the ballast regulator at the end of this long line of rock. Alright guys, so that's how they do it. You can see how much that little trailer covers when they dump it out. You know, this ain't no class 1 railroad, it's a museum. They do what they need to do and they get it done. As you can tell, you probably, of course, you wouldn't want a train running over this track right now, but that, my friends, is what that piece of machinery right down there is for. The ballast regulator. Finally, after this hot and excruciating day, just after 4 p.m., the train would head south to tie down just beyond the tree line. And just beyond the tree line, the train would tie down, and Mike and Grayson would get to go home and get some quality sleep. I too would do the same. After staying up all the night before and after this really hot day out here, all three of us would be getting our quality sleep tonight. But in the end, it really is a privilege to be able to see these things and document it for YouTube and all to see. Because you always hear me and other people talking about, oh, what the funds can do, what the funds can do. Now you really can see just what the funds can do. So be sure to give the museum some love at frrm.org. Come out and ride the train, which, by the way, you will now be able to do beginning June 6th. The museum this upcoming Saturday is reopening. While practicing social distancing and using other precautions to make sure all riders are safe, you can now come back out and enjoy a nice 6.5-mile ride to Willow and back. And now, under newly ballasted track. Or you can simply donate using their website as well. So be sure to go ahead and do that if you please. And looking out over the bare orange groves of Florida, this is Kotabeaner, and I'll see you next time, probably headed to Ohio, but either way, I'll see you next time on our favorited rails.